Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Cousin Cecil Show. I'm your host, Cousin Cecil, aka Mike Fowler. How you doing this week? Hope you're doing well. Hope everything's doing good in your life. Hope you've been gaming. Hope you've been reading comics. Hope you've been doing geek shit in your own free will, spare time, and all that fun jazz to make you happy. Just more of it's probably going to be definitely a more short and sweet one. Probably even more touch base about what's going on with me. And of course, we'll get into some of the gaming news that was, and for me, it's a little bit small, but then as we get into some more of the geek news, like, the whole Time Warner, shit going on. But yeah, I think I'm more trying to say it for just because, it's been an alright week with me. I mean, I've been having some very heavy, depressed thoughts. I know I don't talk about that much, just wanted to state it, but, I haven't been gaming that much. I played a couple games of Fortnite. I'm just in that weird pickle of, don't have the funds for, the games I want to get, or even the comics I want to get at the moment. Things will go around. But yeah, I still want to talk about it. So just been a little down. Just I get these flash in the pan thoughts, and then obviously I get some of these weird stagnant thoughts that go through the whole week. Just feeling down and self-worth and all that shit. But just more saying it just so that if anybody listens to this and needs to hear it too, you're not alone. We all go through it. I'm not trying to say I'm better. I'm not saying you're doing better. You know what I mean? Just sometimes it's good just to say it, take it off your own chest and just say it out loud. But yeah, that's more so what I've been gaming. Of course, I'm also going to just more say, down the pipe. I'm going to try to say it just so that we can get into materialize it in real life. We're going to try to get Biomutant so I can talk about it. It's more sad that I've been more interested in some of these PS4 games than the PS5 games. Returnal's there, but I'm I get too scared on Resident Evil Village. I heard it, of course, is good. All that stuff, and especially I'm glad I didn't buy it in the sense of I don't like the first person yet. I have PlayStation gave us Resident Evil 7, and I've had it before. I just get antsy, and I just don't like that feeling. I know that there's guns, so that also helps me out in the sense of I've never liked that feeling of feeling too helpless, in Outlast, where it's about running and hiding compared to fighting. And then also I'm more trying to get to, okay, so I want to say Biomutant. I've already talked about it. It's one of my high anticipated games. I want to check it out since before it was announced, or when it was announced and it's been in limbo. I kind of want to get Mass Effect Collection. I've never played it past maybe an hour of the first game, maybe 2 hours on original 360 Xbox. And then also just more to put it out there, I want to say there's 2, maybe 3 indie games. Never Yield. Obviously, friend of the show, and i.e. if you mean a nice man who accepted a shady DM. Aerial Knights, Never Yield's out now. You can pick it up. And I'm not saying I did it, but I like to keep it on. I'll put it as an accomplishment for me. I'm more happy to see that it did come with a platinum. I don't know if he was just playing hardball during the conversation or whatever, but hey, it's got a platinum, so that's good to know. I think also I want to get Jay and Silent Bob's Mall Brawl, just because I like Jay and Silent Bob. And if it comes out, I do want to get the other independent game that just can't. That's going to come out. That Dog Airport. That looks kind of like cute and tongue in cheek of just of a corny, not corny, but a quirky type of game. So it looks kind of fun. Unless Skateboard comes out soon, I'd like to get Skateboard. But yeah, and then also I guess we'll just touch base with that. I'm again, I want to get a couple more comics. I I have a little basket of Comixology. Not saying it like that, but hey, want to help the show? Cash App is MF9393, but you don't have to. I'm just more pulling your leg. But yeah, and then I also more put out there. We'll see how it goes. I somehow got on the list for Scout Comics. So Scout Comics is the ones who create Black Cotton, the guys who created or published Snatched, which I want to read. I wonder if I can get a review copy of that. But I'm on their list. I'm on their reviewer list. And I think it's kind of cool. And also, I think after saying yes to it, it gets me into those weird mixed feelings more, because then it makes you think that you're a fraud. So that's how I feel. I'm like, oh God, they're gonna treat me like a media person, and I'm in a basement, next to the washing machine and dryer. And I've just been lucking out. I got 2 more interviews set up, which I think we've talked about one of them. The other ones, we got this Wednesdays with Jay Sandlin coming out. And then I'm not saying the well's running dry, but just the moment of my passion of who I want on the show is running dry because of just not answering. I wanted to switch it up. I've been trying to find a artist to conversate with, because I want to hear the back and forth of how does a artist draw the idea of a scene from either the script, or is it like a conversation, you know what I mean? And yeah, just saying out there, I mean, I feel good about, I am on that list now of Scout Comics, and it's really cool to get. I guess it's how would I word it? This thing also lets me have access to creators to come on my show to access. So when I said the well's running dry, is probably because I don't like being it's like the idea of feeling I'm being spoon-fed. And I feel it's too easy. I do like that thrill of trying to find people that might be hard to get conversation with or whatever. But I think it's also probably because I get a fear of using it because of that fraud feeling. But hey, it is what it is. We'll see how it goes. But hey, I'm pushing the bar for the Cousin Cecil show one way or another. And I'm happy, hey. But yeah. And I guess also like we've been also on for comic wise, for even comic books, I go to the comic shop. There's been no new pulls, only because I was going to get Wonder Girl and the Fortnite ones. But all their books at my place came in damaged, so they had to do the resend and get new stock in. So, but I really want to read that. This is my problem. This is my trouble. I want to read so many books. I can read books fast. Well, comics very, very fucking fast. I can read maybe 12 comics in a day, and I'm like, all right, what's next? And then I'll have a list for the next week's production, and I'm like, I see myself as there are whales in DLC. There are whales in Bitcoins. There's fucking people that just I see myself, I could be a big spender if I had the chance for comics. But yeah. More and more on that later, whenever that more gets into fruition, because also I know I sound down, but also, like I said, it's been a rough week. A lot of impulse thoughts and sad thoughts, but I got 2 preview fucking issues to still talk about that are not what I've already discussed already. One of them's for an interview, and one of them came through Scout Comics, so we'll get down that road when we get to it. It's kind of still cool. But all right, let's get into the news of this week. And then one of them, this one's probably the big one for gaming wise. That's pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool. Sony patented an esport betting system for its consoles for a couple of years ago, with documentation outlining a framework whereby odds would be calculated by players or teams' historical performance, allowing users to then bet on their favorites in varieties of ways. The paper outlined a number of I stopped a yawn. Hypothetical examples with in-play options like character A gets hit in the next minute. The idea is the system is constantly calculating new odds for you to bet on even while matches are taking place, similar to what a lot of betting apps do for real sports these days. And also, which it looks like I didn't put on here, like they even set it up so that you could even bet with Bitcoin, cash, of course, in-game currency. I want to say DLC, like I don't want to say V-Bucks, but the idea of like a currency and also like in-game purchases. So I think that's pretty crazy, and like the idea of setting it up before and be using now. Who knows? Maybe it'd be I'll bet you 17 Dogecoin. Ken's gonna punch Ryu within this next minute. Oh, you're on. The winner goes to XX Mommy Milkers 420. Step on me, XX. Hey, I think it's pretty cool. That's why I brought it up, and also the idea of I think it's a, gaming is a weird limbo of is it for kids, is it for adults? I'm in the generation. Well, we're like the early 40s, and under are the first generation with gaming in any time of the has always had gaming in their systems or in their lives. So I think it's pretty cool if we can get there's bets for everything else. Why can't we get some betting out on the thing? I have friends who are really big in the sports betting, so I don't see where the difference is if I want to bet on Booga on a Fortnite fucking competition compared to UFC. So I welcome it with open arms, but of course it's a pattern. Doesn't mean nothing has to happen from it, but it's kind of neat to hear them getting into it. And then a real quick one, just because it's compared to the other one. Grand Theft Auto 5 is coming on November 11th for the PS5 and Xbox Series. GTA Online will be a standalone game that will be available on both platforms and will be a PS Plus to PS5 user get it first during the first 3 months or some shit like it says. Rockstar on the next gen version of the GTA 5 states it will feature a range of technical improvements, visual upgrades, and performance enhancements to take full advantage of the latest hardware, making the game more beautiful and more responsive than ever. Also, something to take note is Rockstar promises more fun surprises for the 20th anniversary of Grand Theft Auto 3. And important, some of these are specifically GTA Online, so it does not necessarily confirm the rumors of a enhanced re-release of it. So that's kind of cool. And also, I think I saw, which I wasn't going to bring it up, but I saw that somebody made like a non-official VR version of Red Dead Redemption 2. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, I mean, the idea of are we going to have people buy Grand Theft Auto 5? Are they going to have the balls to say you're going to buy it again for $70, or is it going to be $60 PS5 Xbox Series game? Only time will tell. We got to get closer to November to see that. And then also, Last of Us 2 got a 60 frames per second patch. Cool. I already platinum. I'm never going to touch it again. Unless it does like that idea that I can turn it on and bounce the PS5 trophies without playing it, because I think it was like that one-time play and then I'm good to get that story. And then also, I didn't know I had to confirm it, but like Jeff Keighley's Summer Game Fest is going to be June 10th, the week of June 10th. Even like Weezer's going to be playing there and stuff. And I think it's going to be, I loved last year, and I thought that was kind of mellow. So if they're going to be bigger and better, that's awesome too, because I think they do better than, well, they did better than E3, because I don't believe E3 had a really good presentation last year. But and then they also said this week Microsoft and Bethesda is going to do a joint presentation, which no shit. Bethesda definitely is not in a position to be doing their show like they did last year, a couple of years ago. You know, they don't have, they have games coming down the pipe, but like all the games that we know about are ones that they already have release dates, and they're not involving. They don't need the hype no more. Like, we don't need another trailer for Deathloop, or maybe another one for Tokyo Ghostwire. Maybe I'm mistaken on that one, but like, you know, are we going to get finally the Elder Scrolls? Are we going to get the confirmation that everyone's rumoring around that is Starfield going to be exclusive to Xbox, Switch, and PC? But I'm assuming so. We'll see how it goes this E3 weeks coming up in like 2 weeks now. Well, from the time of this is going to be coming out. But yeah, and then so we'll get into now. That's basically it for gaming wise. And then also I heard that THQ is announced like in the middle of the night that Time Splitters is coming back. Wow, cool. And I also did see that for Biomutant also people were kind of yelling at them because they only had the PS4 version, or like that generation version of Biomutant prepared, but they said they are working on a upgraded version for these current consoles. But obviously PS4 and I think Xbox One are stuck at 1080p 4K upscale, but they're at 60 frames. So we'll see how it goes when that game comes out, because I'm excited, but of course it could be a pile of shit. But for a more geek-wise, that's not involving games, but also is very intriguing because it's going to affect some of the game studios down the road. But new details popped up this week that Warner Media is going to merge with the Discovery company, the company that does, like, you know, Discovery Channel, TLC, and all that shit. Planning to spend $20 billion a year on streaming. Jason Kilar will keep streaming position for now. Brand new company name will be announced later in a few days. I don't think it has been announced yet. But, like, apparently I saw this week was, like, this is, like, one of the first times that, like, we've heard a company openly regret something so quickly. Like, AT&T regrets buying Warner Media, like, within this past 2 years. That's some big things to say, because I'm surprised. And also, like, where does Discovery have the money for Warner Brothers? Or Warner Media, excuse me. So I don't know if that's like how big of a difference is Warner Media to Warner Brothers, but I'm like, whoa. But so people brought it up, like, is this going to affect DC? Everyone who's been connected to it's like DC has been sold and bought, quote unquote, because they've been under Warner Brothers since the 80s. That you know, Warner Brothers has been bought by 5 or 4 different parent companies, so nothing's going to change. But the main studios that are in the mix that possibly not go into the merging Discovery plan is Rocksteady, NetherRealm. So Rocksteady is Arkham games. NetherRealm is, of course, Mortal Kombat. Monolith. Now after I said all those fucking first ones, I don't remember what Monolith does. TT Games, which is the Lego games. And Warner Brothers Games Montreal, so the ones who are making Gotham Knights, they're in the weird toss-up. Not saying they're not going to go to Discovery, but they could be. They made it sound like they could be sold, but I could be wrong. But I think that'd be crazy. I mean, if anything, I know PlayStation's going heavy on the Evo, but I don't know their checkbook. To know if any of them could stand on their own 2 feet for a little bit. Maybe NetherRealm. And then NetherRealm might be able to do like the but like Ed Boon kind of was teasing that there could be like a Marvel version of Injustice coming. But Who knows? And then after this whole rigmarole of talking, Warner Brothers came up with this whole new breaking. Like they announced some movies that are coming out for animated wise. They're announced in particular about Injustice. They're going to be an Injustice animated movie coming out. So that's kind of neat. And then they also announced 2 new shows for HBO Max, and one of them is going to go to Cartoon Network too. Blah blah blah. But we'll go off the first one. My Adventures with Superman. It's going to have Jack Quaid from The Boys. He's going to be the voice of Superman or Clark Kent, and this is already got a 2-season order from HBO Max, and Cartoon Network is going to get it as well. And then also, which is kind of, that one, it looks cute. It doesn't have the same classic feeling of Superman. I think it's more, I don't want to call it, please don't, I'm not saying it's going to look like more Teen Titans Go, but it has that more like, it looked kind of loose on the seriousness of the one shot they showed. So yeah, but this one looks pretty good. And Batman animated series with Bruce Timm, J.J. Abrams, and Matt Reeves is coming to HBO Max. The series is billed as a reimagining of the Batman mythology. So, hey, that's it looked cool. It looked the poster that they showed to present it has definitely a more of a classic the Batman animated series look to it. I believe Bruce Timm is another big sign for that. But yeah, I mean, makes you feel hopeful for as a DC fan. So me, but again, we'll see what that means down the road and all that fun jazz. And then also another coincidentally, just more interesting for me is AEW Dynamite is shifting to TBS in 2022. As All Elite Wrestling franchise expands, the third hour of AEW TV is called AEW Rampage, and it will happen Friday nights and at 10 p.m. on TNT, and then when 2022 comes, Dynamite and Rampage will move to TBS. But also, Tony Khan said that we're not leaving TNT in the sense that we're going to have a quarterly Supercard show that will happen on TNT as well. So I'm actually, I'm still amazed at Tony Khan as a, as a McMahon-esque captain of the whole idea of the franchise. Like, we have AEW is now doing, like, they have Kenny Omega being the Impact champion plus the AEW champion, and like helping these, I don't want to call, let's call it what it is, using these smaller companies. They've been there for a while, but the idea that they're hiring these small companies, Tony Khan's team, which again is Cody Rhodes, probably with some mentioning, I'm just saying, having like a lot of local wrestlers be able to become jobbers during the pandemic is still something. The idea of the thought of the community and having this way different outlook of how the wrestling industry that you're used to on a scale of AEW or WWE is pretty entertaining itself. I applaud it. I think I don't know if I would want to call it Rampage, like the idea of they just call it a third hour of Dynamite. I'm like, or do you want to, should they have done like maybe, I don't want to, they did not sound like they wanted to do it at first. Maybe they will down the road because they do a lot of work with AEW Dark Elevation and the AEW Dark. So they technically, with the third hour, they have 4 different wrestling shows on weekly. And it's, it's a lot of, I bet money, they probably are just happy with that. I mean, maybe, hopefully, Elevation and Dark might get, they should at least get like a dark belt. That would be pretty something to have, at least to make it fair. Then I can shut up because they just need more belts. They have too much talent there not to at least give them some credit where credit's due besides what the fans know about them. Like, we need Joey Janela and Sonny Kiss as tag team champs. I'm just going to leave it at that. But hey, whatever. But yeah, how about that? Isn't that special? I would, but also, like, again, I had a busy week in the sense of self-hate and all that shit. I hate to keep talking like that. But the idea of next week, I will have the reviews of Red Shift, which is out now for Scout Comics. And I also I'm going to do an early review for this comic called Crash and Tony that is basically hinting at my next guest. It's either going to be next Wednesdays or 2 Wednesdays from there, because obviously this book comes out in July. So I got time, because I really want to know if I can get Brian Hawkins' thing to happen. It was supposed to happen this week, but my computer decided to update and take a shit on it, and it was just, oh my god, that was a lot of self-hate day right there. But I digress. But yeah, when we get into some hot picks, and this week's hot picks for TV is I'm gonna switch it up a little bit. It's gonna play Hulu's MODOK. I watched it, and I watched maybe 3 episodes. I'm not doing the whole 10 episodes just yet, but I liked it. It's of course a little robot chickeny, over the top humor, but it's a fun little ride. And there was one more movie or show I forgot. I gotta hold on. I think that's it on TV. For music is came out. It's on Bandcamp, and hopefully you guys can go down to the Bandcamp for basically Bruiser Brigade's self-release compilation album TV62. I actually like a lot of the songs. I can't pinpoint a track itself, because I like them, a lot of them. I like some of them. I like the ones with there's one with Danny Brown and with Bruiser Wolf that I enjoy. I can't remember the name off the top of my head. Of course, I like Fat Roy. So hey, and also this Detroit. You gotta do what you gotta do. Again, that's the album's called TV62, and like I said, go to their Bandcamp, buy the album. I think Bandcamp, you can put whatever you want to, be reasonable. Give these guys a fucking bone. But yeah, and then for comics, start off with Image Comics. There's going to be this book called Made in Korea, issue 1. And then for DC, it's a good week for DC. It's going to be Milestone Returns, issue 0, the indefinite edition. So we're into the dawning of Milestone returning. So like in the next couple, probably the next Cousin Cecil, you hear me say, you gotta go pick up Static issue 1. You gotta pick up Hardwire issue 1. I think it's Icon Rocket issue 1. But that's coming down the pipe. Also, I didn't know that they're making a 4th issue, but the other history of the DC Universe issue 4 comes out this week. I gotta go find it now, since now I have all 3, so I need to at least have this one for the collection. And then also, it was a big hit last time, but this isn't Tom King writing it, but Mr. Miracle, The Source of Freedom, issue 1 starts this week. And I want to say the Stargirls Summer Fest, like little issue, fun issue, starts this week too. For Marvel, this is more to unpack. I want to also, because like number 1, I think I'm only saying it because obviously my kid likes dinosaurs. They have this new hero called Reptile. Issue 1's coming out. But I'm more just saying, make sure you guys look into the Heroes Reborn, because the Heroes Reborn, I didn't know that when I said it last time I discussed it. It is a weekly ongoing series. Like they're already on issue 4 of the Heroes Reborn, and then judging by reviewers, this is one of the most exciting Marvel events in the past like 5-6 years. Just more food for thought. And then also just more, if you can find Spider-Man 26, these Rose Beaches variants, they're probably going to be, if you can find them cheap, you probably sell them for like $70 a pop. They're fucking a very high demand right now. They look like the 2 issues I'm talking about, because there's a virgin cover version of them, but make Spider-Gwen and then also Miles look like little anime characters that look really, enticing to, for fans to have those covers. Just more saying it. And then also, this is the last week for Black Panther, I heard, because Black Panther is going to come back as issue 1 with John Ridley is going to write it. And it's more impressive to hear him doing this plus the next Batman, because that was announced too in July. There's going to be issue 0 of the next Batman that literally the cover is the ending of the 4-issue series that's on right now, which is kind of crazy. But I digress. And then also I saw for another, this ain't a Marvel one, but it's a independent Star Wars, I think it's IDW. It was like Star Wars Weapons of the Jedi issue 1. But yeah, that's basically me this week. And we got, of course, Wednesday. Please go listen to me talk to Jay Sandlin about being a creator. And also, excuse me, we do have another hot pick. Is Jay's annual for Zenescope, which is coming out this week finally, which is Neverland Annual Dark Alliance. And stick with me before that too. Dark Alliance it's of course the annual, so that means it's like a 66 page or 64 page full book with what I like so I can give it to somebody if I bought it and gave it to somebody. It is a beginning and an end of a story. With, of course, how comics are. There is a little teaser for the future, blah, blah, blah. But there's like an epilogue. But there's a true beginning, end of the book. I felt pretty satisfied reading it. And it also gives you those good hooks. So that's kind of funny because it's about Captain Hook. But it gives you those hooks for you wanting to go backwards and read the actual volumes of Neverland to see where they came from for this, because they give you a good synopsis, but of course there's been more stories and all that shit too. But yes, Zenescope's Neverland Annual Dark Alliance out this week, also from the great Jay Sandlin, which obviously you can hear me talk to him on Wednesday, and all that fun jazz. So, like we always say. Can you please follow me at MikeFowler93? Yeah. Check me out. Interactions help the brand. Also, if you have questions, tweet them. I'll answer them here. You'll probably see me answer them on there too. But just want to know you out there. Just say, just hear you. But hey, it is what it is. But until then, like we say, be good to each other, and I'll catch you next week. Peace.